can I just say one thing firstly? I love the name Eat Sleep Boxing Repeat.
Welcome back to ESBR Boxing's YouTube channel in partnership with sharpbetting.co.uk. This is the preview video for the world featherweight title fight taking place on the Inoue undercard this Sunday in Las Vegas. Rafael Espinoza, the undefeated Rafael Espinoza, arguably the best featherweight in the world, will take on former world title challenger Edward Vazquez. Thomas, good to be joined by you as always. We're usually here to talk about final predictions, but we're actually previewing this fight. It's not all about predictions here. Give us your general thoughts on this fight, please, Thomas. Espinoza stopped Robsy Ramirez in his last fight back in December. Remains undefeated. A lot of people are talking him up as the best featherweight in the world right now. Give us your thoughts on this fight, please.
Well, at first, looking at it on paper, I thought, oh, well, this is a gimme fight for Espinoza. He should win this no problem. And I don't want to get too far into I don't want to give too much, or I don't want to give my prediction away, but I would favor Espinoza to win, but I think this could be a trickier fight than I think many are expecting. Um, I know Vasquez's two losses were to um, Ray Ford and Joe Cordina, but didn't give a bad or made those close fights. Didn't give a bad account of himself, and I think he's a tricky, well-schooled fighter. The only problem is he doesn't really have a lot of knockouts on his resume, so I think that's gonna be one of the key things holding him back here. But yeah, I think it's a solid return to the ring fight to get started this year for Espinoza.
Yeah, I think you touched on the Cordina fight there. That was I remember that fight. Um a lot of people actually thought Vazquez beat Cordina that night. It was a very close fight, majority decision, win for Cordina. So but yeah, arguably Vazquez should have become world champion. I think since then he's kind of had two wins, but nobody near the kind of the class of Espinoza, but perhaps I think another factor here is Vasquez has actually been operating at super featherweight for a while. He hasn't made the featherweight limit for over 2 years actually, so that's that's a factor as well. I think February 2023 was the last time he actually came in at featherweight, and he's coming up here against the big featherweight, so it's those are other factors here as well that can maybe kind of play into someone's prediction or thoughts on the fight. On Espinoza, Thomas, is this guy the best featherweight in the world in your opinion? There's Nick Ball, I know, which a lot of people on this channel are quite fond of. Angelo Leo, who's obviously a world champion as well. Stephen Fulton, Luis Nery, Brandon Figueroa. Lots of fantastic names there. But is Espinoza the best in your opinion at this precise moment?
I really do think so. I would favor him over all the other title holders and contenders in the division, except for maybe the only one out that would give me a little bit of pause was Stephen Fulton. Think maybe he's the best out of the rest, but even then, I think I would still favor Espinoza to beat him as well. So yeah, I think as Espinoza is the class of the division, and I think the height and reach I mean, would be a real problem for anybody.
Yeah, of course. And as always, I feel like we say this a lot. We just want to see these guys in big fights, i.e. unification fights. We'd love to see that. It's such a star-studded division. There are some big names there, some big fights to be made. And yeah, I really hope that can happen. Another thing I'll touch on with Espinoza as well, Thomas. Can how much the guy is 6'1" and he makes featherweight, which is kind of scary to think. Sometimes we think these guys are going to move up, and kind of it doesn't seem to happen. Some guys kind of just manage to stay at weight for such a long period. Sebastian Fundora is another example, someone who's got kind of a freakish physique, but is staying at a certain weight. Um, Are you, where's your head at with, are you expecting Espinoza to move up anytime soon? Are you expecting him to have success? Would you expect him to have a lot of success in the super featherweight division? A division that has Navarrete in, Ashake Foster, Raymond Ford. Where's your head at on that as well, please?
Yeah, I think it's, only a matter of time before he moves up at some point. Um, Obviously, such a long frame to fill, 6'1" and it's a 74-inch reach. So I think he would do pretty well at super feather. And there are some big fights lying ahead for him there as well. But I would like to see him, maybe fight at least one of the other title holders at 126 first, before he does that.
Yeah, yeah. I hope so. I hope so. I'm not going to repeat myself, but yeah, look, I think there's big fights at featherweight, big fights at super featherweight. Espinoza's still a young man as well. So there's no excuse. In the next few months, we should really be seeing him in one of these big fights. Personally, look, I think Nick Ball seems to have his sights set on Inoue. Um, Instead of that, I would love him to go over after Espinoza just because it would be such a bit of a freak show to have kind of the shortest fighter in the division versus the tallest for two world titles at stake. So that's the fight I would really like to see. But we'll see. Espinoza has to get past Edward Vazquez first. We'll finish off, Thomas. What's your give us your prediction? Espinoza 26-0, 22 stoppages, so a big puncher. Vazquez 17 wins but only four stoppages and two losses, but both of those have been close close points losses. What's your give us your prediction on this one, please?
Yeah, I see Espinosa winning this one. I'll say via decision.
Hmm.
I think that Vasquez is going to be just tricky enough to maybe win a few rounds and make it the distance, but I do think one of his issues, like I mentioned, is not really having the power. Only has four knockouts, and also just the height and reach disadvantage. He's 5'7", and he has a 65-inch reach. So Espinoza almost has a 10-inch reach advantage over Vasquez. So I mean, good luck getting on the inside of that. I know he's a very skillful fighter, um, Vasquez, and he has good head movement and everything, and knows how to get on the inside. But I mean, that's a it's going to be a tall order, quite literally, to overcome there for Vasquez. So I think that Espinosa wins this one pretty handily, via decision.
100%. No, I'll agree with you. It's a really intriguing fight because I think Vazquez is actually quite a good fighter. He's not done an awful lot in his career. When you look at his losses and then you look who he's lost to, he's not done much wrong. But my worry is I mean, we'll see what the weigh-in looks like. We'll see what Vazquez looks at featherweight now. And then yeah, I just think the run up the last his last couple of fights have maybe been against limited operators in a different weight class. So that's kind of, I'm not sure that's ideal preparation for a fight against Rafael Espinoza, but we'll see. But yeah, I'm going for an Espinoza win. Um, I'll disagree with you, and I'll go for a late stoppage. I'll go round 9 or 10. But we'll see what happens. Look, this is a fantastic undercard fight. Let's not forget, as we look forward to Inoue's American debut. Thomas, good to be joined by you as always. I'll speak to you again very soon. Thank you very much for not just your prediction this time, but yeah, your views and opinions as well. Thank you very, very much.
Likewise, thank you.